Mhm.
Hi, how are you?
Sabrina, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for doing this for us.
Of course. I loved financial literacy and I love being able to support and work with Seed Spot. So thank you for having me.
Do you want to go ahead and try sharing your screen to see if it works for you?
So I was having issues and I've been having issues. Can I forward you the email with the PowerPoint? Is that okay? And then I'll have you take control.
Sure.
Perfect. What is your
Um,
email?
Miranda at seedspot.org.
Perfect. I just put in the subject line Seed Spot. So
Great. I'll go ahead and open that in a minute.
and then
I'm just
since
gonna,
I don't really use Zoom, how do I put a background on this?
oh, Um, you should, if you go to your picture, you'll see yourself, and you go up to the right-hand corner, you should see three little dots.
Okay.
And you should be able to click on that three little dots, and then, oh wait, clicking on mine. And you should be able to say blur background or adjust background and effects.
I don't have that. I see the three dots by my picture, but I don't have that option.
Really?
Interesting. Background. Let me try this. Oh, you know what? It's at the bottom. So my bad. I'm so sorry. I did figure it out.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay, perfect.
there we
Are you able to
go.
see it? There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Pulling up your slides. Okay. They are in Google Slides, so if anything gets a little wonky, that can sometimes be why.
Is that what it is?
No, that's what it would be on my end. If like a font
Oh,
is a
okay.
little different or an image is a little off center, that
Can
would
I
be
see
what
how it
would.
shows on your end if you don't mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you see?
I do. And then if you can just, if you don't mind putting it in presenter mode, that way they don't like
Ye-
peek into the next slide. That would be fine.
Yeah, but I'm gonna add some slides now.
Oh, okay.
That's, oops. There we go. So I'm not switching between. Um,
Thank you for doing that.
yeah, absolutely.
So what do you do for Seed Spot?
I am the director of recruiting, so I'm in charge of finding all of the incredible entrepreneurs that we work with.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I took Linda interest into the waste management event and I had
Oh,
one more
you're the one
ticket.
that took 'em. I heard all about that.
Yes, I had an extra ticket and I didn't know I wanted to invite somebody else from Seed Spot, but it was so last minute and I only had those two contacts. I should have told them to bring you.
I'm in Boulder, Colorado, so
Wow.
I know. So I miss out on so much, which I really miss the in-person activities and
Yeah.
conversations, but I heard it was a lot of fun.
It was. And going back to what you just said, it is my team's there's nobody in Arizona, so I know what you mean in regards to like the activities and stuff. They're mostly in California and California's budget is crazy, so I'm like they always have all the cool things going on.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am gonna make you co-host just
Okay.
in case something random happens, but I'm gonna manage the waiting room and take care of everything. I'm gonna kick us off and talk
Okay.
to begin with so that all the because people are going to filter in and they're going to keep coming even like after the hour,
Yeah.
so I'll manage letting them all in, and I'll just introduce you briefly. I'll just say our amazing speaker Sabrina. I'll let her
Okay.
introduce herself,
Sounds good.
but that way we'll get more folks filtering in, but our waiting room's already got 11 people in it, so all right.
Perfect. I'm ready.
All right, I'll just give it one more minute.
Oh, I thought it was already 5:30. I apologize.
Just 1 minute. One
Did you
minute to
want me to
5:30.
include my contact information by any chance at the bottom?
That is entirely up to you. I mean, people love that and they probably will engage with you. And you
Okay.
can decide if that's like, if
What I
you're,
want.
yes, just what the knowledge information you're giving them today is beyond excellent.
Perfect. Okay. Let me do that.
All right. It's time. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. How is everyone doing this evening? Welcome to Startup Spring Training. It's great to see some familiar faces in here. So I'm Miranda Williamson. I'm the director of recruiting at Seed Spot. Seed Spot is an organization that helps underserved entrepreneurs get access to the training, the resources, and the networks that they need to be successful. And Startup Spring Training is one of our incredible flagship programs to support all of you entrepreneurs in accessing new networks in Arizona, training and knowledge, like our incredible speaker who you'll hear from today, as well as micro grants just for participating. So you get free workshops and mentorships. Like I said, $500 micro grants just for participating. And we still have plenty of micro grants to give away. So don't worry, there are still plenty left. And these are workshops and opportunities that are specifically curated for entrepreneurs here. By attending, so just by attending, you are getting credit for attending this session. So you don't have to worry about checking it in or checking any boxes. You are getting the credit. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to our speaker today, Sabrina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sabrina Espino. And just like she mentioned, it's so good to see some of you join in this workshop. I know I taught the other financial literacy class, and I do see a lot of familiar faces. So thank you for joining. For those of you who don't know me, like I mentioned, I'm Sabrina Espino. I'm the business access advisor for US Bank and the state of Arizona. I've been with US Bank for 4 years, but I've been in the industry for 7. A little bit about my role. US Bank donated $100 billion to our Access Community Benefit Plan to help individuals like yourself who are entrepreneurs in low to moderate income communities who need access to capital, resources, and information. And by you just attending to this, this is a great opportunity for you to get access to information and capital to get a $500 grant. So thank you for joining. What have you do if you don't mind going on to the next screen, please? Oh, sorry, the next one. Thank you. Okay. So today we're going to discuss how growing your network is so important for your business and how to make networking effective. And for today's agenda, when we think about business networking, we often don't realize that building business relationships play a large role in helping you achieve your business objectives, exploring opportunities, or even promote brand reputation, recognition that could possibly help you obtain additional financing opportunities and opportunities in the future. So today we're going to better understand the importance of networking, the networking types, and some strategies. And at the end of this, we'll have a short or a chance for you to answer or ask some questions that I can help answer. But before we get started, is there anything that you're hoping that I might cover today? If anybody wants to, just get off the mic and say something, or if you can write it in the chat. I want to make sure that you leave with something today that you learned from if I don't get to address anything. Anybody would like to share? And if not, no worries. Like I said, throughout the presentation, motivation and confidence. Perfect. Okay. We'll go through that very lightly in the presentation, but we can go over examples of me at working at a bank, how I can help you with that to better strengthen your business. So when you go to a bank or an institution, you have a stronger case for applying for a capital. Okay. Next screen, please. So we're going to start by exploring some of the factors to consider when building a network for your business. Next. Perfect. So we hear of the importance of networking, but as a business owner, you might ask if this is the best use of your time. So we're going to explore the reasons of networking. And as you weigh the time you spend in your business, think about how much you should allocate towards the different types of networking. By a show of hands or just in the chat, how many people have heard a small business owner say that word of mouth or referrals are one of the key resources of new customers? Anybody have like a customer right now that you currently have that they knew about you from another individual or a referral? Perfect. And then if you guys don't know, I'm a marketing background, so I love this type of stuff only because this marketing for you guys is free. So you have a customer come and purchase a product and your friend comes out and is like, "Oh, where did you get that?" And so, they talk about your business. You don't have to pay for any advertising. So this is the best and most effective networking way to get referrals and business. Okay? Um, so marketing the business, attending and participating in networking events will expand your world of influences. It can either drive new customers from your own efforts or other referrals, like I just mentioned. And it could also increase mind share by being in front of your audience or centers of influence. And it can open the door for new customer opportunities or new markets. Within employees, some of you guys might be struggling with this. And I only say this because I work with a lot of customers one-on-one, and they do say that it's so hard to find and retain good employees. So as you network and engage in the community, you can use this as a tool to prospect new employees. Whether it's at a business event, like I said, a community event, or even just going out to dinner. With your suppliers, networking is a great way to find suppliers or strengthen relationships with your existing suppliers. This is especially true to attend industry specific events. And then with service providers or consultants, um, let's talk a little bit more about how these engagements can help build your network team. Next, please. With one of the major opportunities with networking is to develop yourself as a business owner. When you're first starting your business, you will want to surround yourself with a networking team. You may find some of these to be service providers or consultants at marketing events, and this team will be slightly different from each owner and business type. So use this group as your sounding board, your measure of truth, and advice to how to proceed with your business. Some of the people that I recommend to have on your team is I definitely recommend every single one of you to have an accountant because when you do your taxes, you want someone that's reliable, honest, and knows what they're doing. You want a banker. It can be myself or anyone at a financial institution. I would typically recommend for you guys as entrepreneurs and wanting to grow your business, utilizing a small business representative. These people will be able to allocate for you when it comes to, for example, you applying for a loan and let's say it automatically goes turned down. If the business banker knows you and knows your story of why this shows up on your credit report for whatever reason it was turned down, they can tell the story for you behind the scenes to the underwriter. So it's always good to have somebody inside the bank as a source. It's also good to have someone for a lawyer just in case any legal issues arise. A mentor. This can be anybody, somebody that has a business or somebody that you look up to for motivation and confidence, like someone mentioned, or a peer, supplier, or confident, anyone that you would consider to be of use for your business. Next, please. Once your business is up and running, the team is going to be very valuable in a different format. So as you seek to expand, change your product mix or vet new suppliers, use your network team to help you determine the right course of action for your business. Have a purpose for your network team. And this team can add so much value. For example, market intelligence. So understanding your unique marketing situation through your peers, sharing ongoing updates. So your network can be a great reminder to upcoming issues or opportunities in the community, whether it's product changes, what types of new products and solutions are on the horizon, growth strategies, find insights and growth strategies in networking events. And then with the new suppliers, build relationships with your current suppliers and add new ones to your list. Next, please. So I want us to really think about these questions really quick. And I want you guys to just think for a moment as I read these out loud to consider when building your network. So how can participating in networking events expand your business? Which products do I need to find and supplier? Which services do I need? Who do I have in my network team? Who do I need to add? So right now, currently, I just want you guys to think for a second, whether you're writing some, if you're at home, do you have a pen and paper? I want you just to really think about if you need to add some to your networking team, do you need to remove somebody? Um, and do you need to go out more to certain events to help expand your business? Okay. Next, please. And we just reviewed some of the factors to consider when building a network for your business. We're going to look in the next section for different types of networking, such as events, organizations, online networking trends. Next, please. And we'll start off by looking at some of the most traditional networking types, which is going to actual networking events. They're going to be both nonprofit and for-profit organizations that you can join for business networking events. And then many of these events have different themes and areas of focus. So as a business development, maybe a business development may be sponsored by a business with a product or service that they need to share and one that they need to help grow. Others are put on by nonprofit entities for the benefit of members. And then with industry events that are there are large gatherings or conferences where professionals carry out business related activities. These often blend leisure with professional activities such as educational presentations or exhibitions. And then community engagement is the process of working collaboratively through groups of people to address issues affecting the community or affecting your small business community. And then the community engagement is also known to focus on civic groups and public participation. And a social event is a great opportunity to demonstrate your company's product or service. You can set up a booth and leave attendees with a great impression of your brand and personality. And then some social events will be less structured, like after hour cocktail reception, sporting events. So when you think of, like I say, a networking event, it doesn't always have to be so formal. It can be, like I said, after hour cocktail, happy hour, sporting event. So I want you guys to really think about what you are currently doing, and if you feel like what industry you're in and what audience you're trying to attract, you can always attend these specific events. Next, please. With business education, there's a lot of reasons to network as part of your business education. This is an opportunity to develop yourself as a business owner, which may include seminars, events, lunches, or connections to help understand how to run your business. And then within industry events, those are a great way to both meet others and help keep yourself current in your industry. We're going to go over some examples of events and organizations that provide business education opportunities. The benefit of these organizations is that they can provide specific training that is helpful for you as a business owner. This will also connect you with others who might not have, you have not met otherwise. Next, please. And we'll talk about one of the most popular networking trends right now, which is online networking. As you guys know, social media. Online networking is not to be confused with online marketing. When attending these events, think of what you hope to gain from your online networking event. Like I said, it can be social media, but it's also more in depth of an online networking presence. So match your in-person and digital presence. They could be consistent with your brand. People should feel that you're authentic online to increase the impact of your networking. And determine the best avenue for networking, whether that's social media. So platforms such as LinkedIn and Meetup are great places to look for events. Online forums. So consider joining a professional organization in your field and look for online networking events. There's also virtual teams. So something kind of like Zoom, where there's a group of colleagues that get together remotely using video conference software. So something like this where you can do networking as well. And I don't want you guys to spread yourself thin. You don't have to join every possible forum or group. Just find the ones that will best meet your goals and be involved there. Fewer events are often going to be better just because you're having a better networking by deepening relationships, and you're going to be providing more benefit because you can go to so many, but at the same time, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So sometimes, less is more. And then demonstrate your expertise online. This is extremely important. Just like in person, others will gravitate to you if you are a contributor to group. You may feel like you are inexperienced, but find something that you understand and help others out. Whether that's answering questions or sharing something you learned from a digital perspective, people will see that you're engaged and have worthwhile information to share. And then just remember, networking is based on mutual trust, even online. So once you get to a level of expertise, start to actively post and share information that others will find valuable. Next, please. Okay. I also want you guys to think about these questions too when you're choosing a networking event to attend for your business. Okay. So, what types of networking events will help grow your business? What types of courses, certificates, or training seminars are you interested in? And what are some of the benefits of online networking for my business? While I'm going through this presentation, I just want if anyone can share in the chat. I'll read the chat later, but just talk about what event that you went to and um, what were the benefits that you've seen. Next, please. Okay. So we just reviewed networking types, events and organizations, and current trends in online networking. We're going to take a deeper look into strategizing for these events to maximize your time because as a business owner, you guys are super busy. Um, I didn't, this is why, you guys inspire me to be an entrepreneur one day, but it's a lot of time that you guys spend on your business. So I salute all of you. Next, please. So, business relationships are important, but how you determine whether your time is best allocated and then foster long-term relationships that matter. So begin with the end in mind. So have a goal about what you're hoping to achieve with networking. If you have multiple goals, make sure you just prioritize them and then understand which organization or connections are the best for achieving those goals. It may be that you can accomplish multiple goals with the same organization or at the same event, but make sure you go with a plan. And then think outside the box. When you're pulling people together for your team, you want people that think differently from you. You want them to be able to identify opportunities and issues that you can't see. And you may look to different networks within your industry. This will bring together like-minded individuals, and you can hear about similar challenges, successes, and tools to be successful. You can also look to learn from a different industry and see how people are working that may bring new perspectives to how you do in business. And if you go outside your industry, just focus on industries that could drive innovation in your business. And then just remember that this is a two-way relationship. So one of the best ways to be noticed and to attract people to you is to provide value to your network. Whether it's contributing your expertise in a subject matter as a presenter or subject matter expert, you can contribute your time to an organization or event. A great way to meet others is to be involved, whether that is on a board of directors, as a volunteer or committee member, or find ways to contribute your experiences. This is especially true of community organizations, whether those are a small business owner or a forum, or from your personal or past experience, you can help others out. Each of these ways to get involved will cultivate contacts and broaden your network, and you never know who could be your next customer, supplier, or even your partner. So it's always good to look within your industry and also outside of your industry. Next, please. Within customer acquisition, that's a key component of networking. And depending on the event, you'll focus on different ways to acquire new customers, whether that's having a display booth. So many events offer display booths for vendors for a fee. Your business will have space at the specific event. And then, as you know, the more you pay, the better your position is at that event or the size of your booth. And generally, the greater number of public announcements you get from the event. You also get speaking engagements, both with and without booth space, which will have various center opportunities. If you are an expert in your field, this can help you, get a chance to have a nice display and expertise to a large audience. So be sure to ask the event organizer for names and contact information of attendees so you can follow up even if you don't personally meet these individuals at these events. and then just
So,
gather contact. Oh, can you
Sabrina,
hear me?
I'm gonna interrupt you because I don't think that my slides are matching what you're saying. So I just want to like make sure
Oh,
we
I
get to
think,
the right place.
yeah, I think yours went back a little bit. It was right. So it should be on slide 16.
Okay, because so just so you know, a lot of these slides are animated. So when you say next, just like a word pops up.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I was looking at,
Okay.
I have half of you. So yeah, we should
There we
be
go.
on slide 16.
So here we go with display booth and speaker engagement.
I'm sorry, everyone.
It's okay. Here
Thank
we
you for
go.
whoever pointed that out. Thank you so much. Okay. So this technology is not my forte as well. So I apologize to everyone and thank you, Miranda, for fixing that. Okay.
All right.
So this is customer acquisition. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought, but customer acquisition. Okay, so as you go to these events, like I said, you pay more depending on getting a front row where everyone enters. It just gets more engagement for you. And then, gathering the contact information, make sure to gather contact info from people that you speak with. This can be through a gift, writing down the information from people you meet with, or exchanging business cards. I know a lot of people don't like business cards and they have the cool, like, card on their phone. Like I just said, I'm not tech savvy, so I always carry my personal card with me. But make sure you just have that handy. And then one thing that I do ask that you guys should implement when you guys are going to these networking events is, don't forget to ask for referrals. Not everyone you meet might be a potential customer for you, but they may know someone who would be a good fit or a good client to your company. So it's always good just to ask to say like, hey, do you know anyone who might need my service, or do you know anyone who would benefit from this? Give them my contact information. Here's an extra card. So it's always good to just to ask for some referrals. And brand awareness is different than customer acquisition, as your goal is to get your name out more broadly. This may involve providing items with your branding at a booth, in an event bag, or your logo at an event. Okay, next screen, Miranda. Let me see if that has the pop-ups. I'm so sorry. Okay. And then if you hit next again, all the, yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. And when you attend these events, I want to just talk about some of the do's and don'ts that we recommend as you're out networking. So, the first to do that we do recommend is wear appropriate attire. It's always good to wear something presentable, and look at the networking event flyer, whether it's look at to see if it's casual or formal, just so you are your attire is appropriate. It's always good to also wear possibly your logo. Like today, I'm wearing my US Bank logo. It might not be, a nice outfit like Miranda's, but this is something that I like to wear when I'm working from home. But it's always good to, know your audience and know what you're wearing. And then identify your goals for what you want to get out of the event. Like I said, go with a plan. And then that way, when you come out of that event, you have exactly what you were looking for, or you take away something. And then be prepared to ask for what you want. Like I said, whether that's referrals, connections, or a business plan review, know who you want to talk to and why. You can't meet with everyone. So, or maybe even prepare some icebreakers to learn about others. That way, it's a two-way connection. Remember that conversation. And then have an elevator introduction for your business. Typically around 40 seconds max is what we recommend for an elevator introduction. Just keep the conversation positive and provide a follow-up, such as a thank you email, a message on LinkedIn, or a phone call. And then what we recommend for what not to do is, Don't limit your schedule. Although we all need to have a good work-life balance, networking events or personal interactions may not necessarily fit into your 9 to 5 weekday, but be prepared to put in some extra hours. And then don't get discouraged if the networking event doesn't go as planned. Sometimes the event or group isn't a fit. And then don't limit yourself by talking with the same people. Your goal is to make the connection. So, as you go to these events, like myself, I go to networking events all the time for work. You see the same people all the time, and that's great to say hi. How are things going? But your point or your goal is to meet someone new, or if you had someone that was going to attend that you haven't connected with, make it a priority to connect with that individual. Next, please. Perfect. Okay. So, networking with other business owners can be a great way to enhance your skills. Before you go, plan your networking goals and make sure you ask for the 5 W's, which are: who do you want to meet? What is your goal for attending the networking event? How frequently do you need to attend the meetings? Um, will you be networking in your city, state, nationally, or internationally? And why are you interested in this organization? Um, these are some of the recommendations of what to think about before attending an event. Next, please. Okay. And then let's review some of the key factors to consider when strategizing for these networking opportunities. So I'm gonna just quickly have you guys think about these questions as well. And that's, in what other industries might I consider attending a networking event? How do I maximize the investment of my time and money at an event? And what other do's and don'ts are applicable to networking in my business? So, something to think about. Next, please. Okay. And then we just finished up some of the factors to consider when strategizing for networking opportunities. Lastly, we're going to take a few minutes to practice these skills. And then after that, we'll share some of the resources on networking ideas. So, for this event, or for the next screen, I'm so sorry, I want us to make it a little interactive. So, I know it's kind of hard because we're all on virtual, but if I can have just a participant uh, come off the mic and just talk about you attending a networking event. Was it in person? Was it virtual? What strategies did you use to make it successful? If you can introduce yourself and your business, and then what you learned from that event. Can anyone share? Because a lot of people don't know that there's these resources and tools for you um, out here in the community that you can attend to help better your business. Can anyone volunteer?
I'll volunteer.
Thank you.
Um, I dropped it in the chat, but on Thursdays, there's a networking event called Venture Cafe, which is sort of tech focused, but it really is for just entrepreneurs and small business owners. I was saying that a couple of months ago, they had a nonprofit focused event. I work primarily with nonprofits. My company is Capably. We provide organizational development, technical assistance, and capacity building support for nonprofit organizations. And so it was really cool to go. There's not a lot of networking opportunities for nonprofits. So it was really neat for us to have a day that we could sort of connect. The Alliance, formerly the Alliance, Arizona Impact for Good, has some networking opportunities for nonprofits, but only if you're a member. So we're not members since we're not a nonprofit. We just serve them. But yeah, it's networking was really hard for me at first. When I first started my business, I felt I'm an introvert, and so it made me really tired to do. I would come home, I'd sleep great. That was the benefit. But I really have had tremendous success knowing exactly what my business does, being able to sort of rattle that off quickly. And then essentially the best part of networking is finding about what people do and learning about them and just listening and taking it all in.
That's awesome, Meg. I love the example you shared because it is true. A lot of people like myself, um, I am extrovert, but in times like this, I am introvert because it's like public speaking, you know, it gets a little nerve wracking. And even though I'm not selling a product, I'm selling or I'm giving out information. So like you said, you have to be very comfortable with your product and just be able to get out of your comfort zone and speak to individuals, whether that's about your business or about just networking in general. So thank you for sharing, Meg. Is there anybody else that would like to share or a networking event that they attended and what strategies they used? Or if you haven't attended one, uh, have you seen anything out in the community that is grabbing your attention, but you don't know more about it, or you're just looking for more opportunities? Anybody?
Hi, I can share. Sorry, my camera's off because I'm feeling a little bit sick right now, but I'd be more than happy to share if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
Um, sure. My name's Courtney Newell. I'm with my company is Life Startup Essentials, and we work a lot with nonprofits. But like Meg mentioned, we are not a nonprofit. So we have also struggled in finding networking opportunities with peers that kind of fit within our realm. In the past, I wouldn't necessarily call it a networking opportunity, but it's a business owners forum. And so it's just a bunch of business owners that get together, and it kind of did turn into a little bit of a networking, although that definitely was not the intention of it, but it did become very beneficial for all of us.
That's awesome. And like you said, specific industries don't have, for example, like the opportunity to have specific events. But what we can do for anyone who wants to know about what opportunities are out there in the community, um, you guys are more than welcome to email me or shoot me a call, and I can get you some more resources out there. Part of my role and part of US Bank's Access Commitment Plan, like I mentioned, was to get small business owners and entrepreneurs access to this information and resources for you to scale your business. So I'd be more than happy after this call on a one-on-one to share um, or to look and see what you're looking for to help grow your business.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
I'd love to
Anybody
add
else?
to,
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
I'd love to add to Sabrina because I'm often attending networking events um, as someone who works for an accelerator, and I'm often attending entrepreneurial networking events. And so for me, it's so important that I go in without an agenda, that I don't go in expecting to find program participants or expecting something out of the event. It's so important that I go in with my authentic self and just curiosity, and just be curious about the individuals that are in the room with me and ask them questions. And it doesn't have to be inauthentic, it can be natural.
I love that, Miranda, because even though, you know, we talked about having a plan, certain events you can't plan for. So you want to be your true, authentic self. So thank you for bringing that up, Miranda, because at the end of the day, people can read through that. So if your business is not authentic, people are not going to want to do business with you. Anybody else?
Yes, I'll share also. I really agree with Miranda just said. Um because you actually connect with a lot of people when you just, even if it's not in your industry, you connect with lots of people. I travel a lot. It's not as part of my business, it's just my life. And I go to Chamber of Commerce events, and um just to see where like the most opportunity is, where my business would be impactful, the most impactful. And then different areas, like I was just in Florida, in Jacksonville 2 months ago, um just to see what area has what grants, what's needed, you know what I mean, like what objectives the states are pushing. And you get a lot of information from those networking events. I have not gone to one yet in Arizona, and I need to because I know nothing right now. But my business will is focused around wellness, mental wellness, specifically, but I also like import medicinal herbs from East Africa and stuff like that. But my focus is mental health, like grief specifically.
I'm glad that you mentioned you going to a chamber, Tiffany. There are two chambers here, or three chambers here that I work with, and Miranda probably knows them more as well. But there's the Hispanic Chamber, there's the Greater Phoenix Chamber, and then there's the Black Chamber. All great different chambers. You know, they all offer something different, but at the end of the day, we're all here to help our small business owners and entrepreneurs in our community. So if you would like more information on a link to those chambers or a contact, I'm more than happy to connect you with somebody, Tiffany. Anyone else? If Miranda, if you can do me a favor and go on to the next screen really quick. I just want you guys to either take a picture of this. These are some other resources that are out there for you to consider. And it's also just important to know that there are these resources. There's the SBA to get capital through our Small Business Administration. There's the SBDC, the Women's Business Center, Prestamos. That's just an example. SCORE is an organization that helps with business planning. And banks also offer that, but they do a really good job going in depth. There's Business USA, and then there is the Veterans Business Outreach Center. So this is just some information for you guys to have. But feel free to look at these resources, and then on the next screen, Miranda, there's also our financial resources page here at US Bank. If you had more questions as well, like I said, US Bank's community benefit plan is to work with organizations like SeedSpot and other nonprofits to help our small business community, whether that's offering technical assistance, financial literacy, mentorship programs, or just the connecting piece. Like I said, connecting you guys with another organization. We're all here with the same goal and mission. It's to help your businesses thrive. And just the fact that SeedSpot's having this opportunity for you guys to get a $500 grant. Obviously, nothing in life is free, so you do have to work a little bit for it. But if you think about the requirements that they're asking, they're not a lot. And like I said, it's $500 that you can use for purchasing a piece of equipment for your business, whether it's paying something off on your credit card for your business, whatever the case is. This is a free opportunity for you guys to receive a grant. So thank you for having that SeedSpot for our business owners. And I don't have anything else on the agenda today, unless you guys wanted to talk a little bit more about your business and get some advice from a banking standpoint about what underwriters look at, or anything in regards to networking. I'm all ears. We have another 18 or 12 minutes, do we?
Yeah.
22
Yeah,
minutes, I'm sorry.
so if there are any questions out there for Sabrina.
Yeah, I have a question. Sabrina, you mentioned about sending contact information to be able to reach out to you in reference to some additional resources.
Yes, of course. What I can do, I will drop my information again in the chat. The best way to contact me is going to be via email. And then the second method of contact would be a text message. That way we can schedule a one-on-one, and I can really get you the information and the resources out for you in the community. Like I said, I don't sell any products. That's what I love about my job. I'm here to really connect you guys within the community and build an ecosystem for all of you guys. So I would love for you guys to reach out to me if you had any of these questions. Been attending networking events, workshops with the Southwest Valley Chamber of Commerce. Oh, I've been to events there. These have been a great experience, and they are free to attend, participate. Yeah. So Arizona, I don't know if you guys know this, but Arizona is such a growing state. There's so much happening here, and our state cannot, this is my opinion, our state cannot be the state we are if it wasn't for our small businesses. So you guys, so you guys are in a great, in a state where there's a lot of opportunity now, and there will be more in the next upcoming years. But it's great to utilize the resources that you have and utilize Miranda and myself as one of those resources.
Absolutely. It looks like there's a question from Gabriella.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yes.
So I have a very, I don't know, I'm just gonna put it out there, vulnerable financial question. So I was on the workshop with Jose Yanez. It was super helpful. And this was last week, and I had already planned to open my business checking account and get a business credit card. And I met with him afterwards, or I talked a little bit with him and letting him know, like, most likely either I want to get the credit card with both myself and my husband, because we were both on the business. So anyways, fast forward, we went to the person he recommended us to go to, and I knew I could have already told the banker, like, I'm not going to get approved if you just run me. So it was like a not great communication. So we have a business checking now and savings, but she just ran me, and so I'm not getting approved for a business credit card. So I mean, I'm guessing, because I still haven't heard anything, and I'm getting a letter. So
Okay.
yeah. And so she called and checked in, and I was like, oh, I didn't know you just ran mine. Like, I would have told you, like, no, like, yeah, let's run my husband's. So what do you recommend? Like, of course he can go and, apply for our business credit card, but now we're kind of like, maybe we don't want to bank there, even though I personally bank there, but I'm just like,
So there's two questions that come to mind. It's, how are you registered as a business? Are you a sole prop, an LLC, a C corp? How are you registered?
LLC.
LLC, perfect. And then how long have you been in business for?
Since July 2020.
Since July of last year. Okay. So right off the bat, and I can speak on this because I used to be a business banker, so I know my credit policy for US Bank. Every bank's different. I know Chase is different. I used to work there as well. And even though the banks, we all have money to lend to individuals, we all focus. I wish you would have attended my credit class last week, but I talk about the importance of knowing the lenders. So knowing what the lender looks at in the 5 C's. I'm sure Jose, because I know Jose, he talked about the 5 C's of credit. Just know what Chase really looks at. Because Chase might look at these two, they look at all of them, but focus more on these two, and US Bank's going to focus more on these two. And then based off your industry, so there's a lot of things that this is going to apply to anybody on this call. When a bank looks at your application, they're going to look at how you're registered, how long you've been in business for, your personal credit, what industry you're in, because like I just mentioned, and what's on your personal credit. I can speak that US Bank, when it comes to bankruptcies, I've been with them 4 years, and I have peers who've been there for 20 years, and they have not seen somebody with a bankruptcy get approved because US Bank's a little bit more conservative. But you have to work with a banker, like I mentioned, that knows their credit policy, because what I don't want to do is, knowing your situation, let's just say something derogatory showed on your credit report on the personal side, because you just said you're not going to get approved, right? So if I know,
yeah, I'm like, I know my score and it's decent, but I
Yeah.
knew I wasn't going to get approved because of the credit cards that I have.
well, the worst thing that we would want to do is run your credit again, knowing you're not going to get approved. We're never going to discourage you.
That's
You
why
know
I'm
what I
like,
mean?
be irritated, because I didn't want her to run my credit. I'm like, what
So
happened? I don't know. There was
in that case,
miscommunication.
what I would recommend, if anyone on this call needs help with credit guidance, we work with Operation Hope. Operation Hope is a nonprofit, and I can refer you to somebody within that organization. They will help you if you have something negative on your credit report. Help you write letters to these companies to get things removed off your credit. Because, like I said, as you start your business, Gabriella, I don't know if you realize the importance of your personal credit right now because you're so new to
Yes, no.
business.
hmm It's good. I don't have anything derogatory. I just have two credit cards that are almost maxed. So that's yeah, I've paid off my loans, I've paid off my car. So it's not like 700 or above, but it was like closer to 650. And then they ran it. So obviously now it's lower, but I was like, it was just the reason I reached out to you, Jose, is because I felt like just like with you too, I feel uh like you're being real and like I feel heard. And so I don't like just to go into a bank and then like they don't know you. Like you said, it's like about
Yeah.
building a relationship. And so I called him and like I was like, oh bummer, like you can't help me directly. But then he supposedly found this person and she's a nice person. But I guess I didn't I didn't get what I was planning. I probably didn't communicate myself either because I'm just like, okay, now we have a business checking and savings, but that was not the primary motivation. And yes, she said, oh yeah, your husband can come in and he can do it. I'm like, yeah, but that's like I didn't want my credit to be run. So
Yeah.
anyways.
Well, I apologize that you had to go through that. I can't speak on the other institution. What I can speak on, here at US Bank, and I do know this for a fact because I've worked at other institutions. We really like, I don't know if anyone banks with us, but we really like to see what your business needs are. And like I just mentioned, Gabriella, if you would have, let's say, came to me and I did the application, I would say, like, these are the options. This is what I recommend based off what my credit, working with credit and underwriting. If we go this route, you might get declined for not having the minimum credit guideline. Or we can work with Operation Hope to see how we can help with lowering your credit utilization, or if you were to win a grant here with Seed Spot, you can use that $500 to pay off some of the credit card. You know what I mean? To help, and then we can plan for setting you up for success to then get you a higher score on the time of applying for the credit card. So I would
Great.
love for you to reach out to me after, so we can set up a one-on-one. Because I guess I know some of you have reached out to me on that are on this call from the previous class last week. And if I haven't gotten to you, I promise. I know some of you are messaging me saying, "Hey, I haven't heard back from you." I will get back to you. Just planning these classes does take time. So if any of you would like to just get some advice, like I said, I'm not selling any product. I will be honest and real because at the end of the day, that's what we're here to help you with, is to set you for success, not run your credit just to run your credit.
Thank you so much for that advice, Sabrina, and thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Are there any final questions for Sabrina before we let her go to dinner into her evening? Looks like there's some love in the chat. And everyone else, feel free to come off mute and thank Sabrina for her time this evening.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Yes,
much.
thank
Seed
you.
Spot,
Thanks.
Thank you
Spring
very
Training,
much.
and all the
Thank you,
entrepreneurs
Sabrina. Thanks a
appreciate
lot,
you and
dear.
your time.
Thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
evening,
Have a good
everyone.
one. Bye.